Okay guys, so this is the end of March 2020 and I, like a lot of people, are in coronavirus lockdown. I'm of the age that it means that I should go out as little as possible. Now, those of you that know me know I love to go out and take landscapes, and I love to go out and take street scenes. And I'm going to put up a few videos of some of my old work on this. But I'm locked in home like many of you. So I thought, what should I do? I'm a photographer. I want to take pictures. So I come up with a plan of taking pictures within my house of things that I already own and try to be as inventive and creative as possible. Now, it's okay for me. I have a full set of studio lights and such like, so some of the things I find a bit easier. But it's a time to look at what we do and to push ourselves a little bit. Light is the key to everything that we do as photographers, and it's important that we adapt the light we use to the subject that we're trying to portray. So for this, my first video, I've come up with a thing that I do very little. It's a high key image, a very high key image. I spent the day ironing, which is something that I do not like to do, but I wanted a white tablecloth and I wanted a white background and wrinkles show. So ironing, I had to do it. So for this, my first coronavirus video and my first coronavirus image, it's very high key. And the title is Coronavirus Dinner. Now, the thinking behind it is that food is difficult to come by, so there's no food in the picture. And some people are more reliant on medication than they are food. So there is medication in the picture. So I'm going to run through, we'll go and have a look at the setup, we'll run through the camera stuff on our video, and then you guys can come back and we'll have a bit of a chat about the picture and the image. So guys, here we have, the studio's partially set up. It's boring moving things around, so you don't need to see that. But we have the big octobox in the background, and that is giving us a controllable backlight. What it's doing is making sure that we can alter the exposure by upping or downing the flash inside the octobox, and we can control the degree of whiteness. So we can have it pure white blown out, or we can have it just a hint of texture, and we can balance it with the rest of the shot. Here we have a strip box, one each side. So the strip boxes are to give edging to the glasses here, and we give edging to the plates. So we've got all the lights set up, except for we need the camera position, which we'll show you and put up, and we need a fill light because we don't want harsh shadows. And with the octobox as a backlight, we need something from the front to put some shadows in. So that's a setup. Let me just bring the other lights in and the camera, and then we'll go through the rest of it. So what we do is we adjust the individual flashes until we have the balance of light that we want on the back of the camera. And it seems to be the modern way. Very few people use flash meters nowadays, but it's possible, of course, to use them. Now we have the camera set up here. We have this flash, which is a fill light, which will lift the shadows. So I'm going to do a few test shots, and what I will do is get everything balanced. And what we have here, guys, is we have the food, which in this case is the tablets, and it's a pun on our life at the moment, on lockdown in coronavirus, and that some people are sick and need to take medication, and some people are sick with other things, and the most important food for them is, of course, the medication which keeps them alive. So that's the thinking and idea behind it. You can, of course, put other things into your image, but this is a balance of textures and a balance of white. Now, my idea is that what I'm going to do is do it the old way. In other words, no Photoshop. The only Photoshop that we're going to do is sharpening. So we're going to balance the lights and we're going to make the whole picture one shot. Click, sharpen, and it's finished. So we'll get back to that, guys. So in this case, guys, we have the cable to trigger the flashes running from the octobox. And the reason is, in this instance, the flash unit is inside the octobox. So it means that what we have to use is we have to use the octobox to fire the other flashes, because the one inside obviously can't see, the magic eye can't see the other flashes go off. So we trigger the octobox, which triggers the other flashes. So what I do, guys, is when I do these sort of jobs, I have the beeps on the flash units, and that's simply so that I know when all the units have recharged. Because there's a beep and we're using different powers, maybe some flashes will recharge slower or faster than others. So I leave the beeps on. When the beeps go off, I know we're good to go. And that's it, guys. Simple. It's just a question of balancing. Now, we'll talk about upping and downing flashes in a different video.
Okay, guys, so you've seen the setup, you've seen how I went about it. Now, in the old days, I used to use a light meter, especially when mixing flash with daylight. But here there was no need, because there is no daylight. The flash is overpowering everything, and that was the intention. And also, when you look, you can measure ratios. It depends on the scene. I could say to you, a quarter of a stop less on this one, half a stop more on that. But really, we're creative, guys, and the modern way of doing things is to actually look at the image and say, slight adjustment. And if your camera is set properly and your view on the back is accurate, then it gives you a fairly accurate adjustment. You can turn your blinkies on if you wish, but after a while you get used to seeing the image on the back of your camera, and you get used to when it's fine. So I didn't use the light meter. I set it up, took a test shot, adjusted the brightness, adjusted the background, and adjusted the side lighting until I was happy with the end result on the back of the camera. Now, this is the time when we would look at the image, and let's just have a look at it here. The image is as you see it before you. This is the final image. Now, what we would normally do is we would talk about Photoshop and what we did in Photoshop. I love Photoshop. I use it a lot. And if I'm out doing landscapes or street portraits and I'm not quite happy with the light, I adjust it in Photoshop. But here, there is nothing. All we've done is sharpen the image. The idea is to take a pure image, to set everything up. We have the equipment, as you see, and just take an image, and that's it. No Photoshop work. So I hope you like the image, guys, and it gives you some ideas to do these things at home. I'm going to do another one today or later today, or even maybe tomorrow, and I'll do another video and we'll put it up and we'll show you a slightly different lighting setup. So guys, please enjoy, and when you take these images, try to be creative, have a look at what you've got, use your imagination, try to tell a bit of a story rather than just go click and shine a light on something. You're creative, guys, be creative. You know, let's make people stand and look at photographs and realize it's not just, oh yeah, it's a selfie, it's a this, bang bang. Try to do something which at least makes people think and hopefully challenge yourself. So thank you once again for watching, guys, and please, anybody can do this. Maybe your lighting will be different. Maybe you'll have to open the curtains or shut the curtains, or maybe you'll have to shine a torch or light paint, any of these things, because you don't have the equipment that you feel you need or you want. It's a question of setting it up and experimenting. And guys, we're in lockdown, so you have the time. You know, what are you going to do? I've got a cook. I live on my own with the cat. My cat has diabetes, so I have to give her injections. But I can prepare my food, and if I need to take the photos, I can do that and then stop and take food afterwards and carry on later in the evening. So guys, it's up to you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gives you a few ideas, and you know, posting comments, like and share, subscribe please, and let's go forward from here, guys. There's no reason to stop. So as a final word, I'd just like to say, guys, keep strong, be safe, and remember, you're never too old. So whatever your style of photography, whatever you'd like to do, you're never too old. Okay, maybe a bit longer, maybe a little bit more effort or work's involved, but you can do it. I can do it, so you can do it. So happy shooting, guys, and remember, light is the key.